This is a story coming out of Shreveport, Louisiana, which is north of Louisiana, and I'm reading this from the Associated Press. A Louisiana officer arrested for killing a black man. A white Louisiana police officer was arrested Thursday for fatally shooting an unarmed black man who was trying to flee police responding to a domestic disturbance call earlier this month, authorities said. After reviewing evidence and footage from officers' body-worn cameras, state troopers charged Shreveport police officer Alexander Tyler, 23, with negligent homicide in the death of Alonzo Bagley, 43. Louisiana State Police on Thursday released body camera footage of the fatal encounter, as well as audio from the 911 recording reporting the initial disturbance. Officers responded to the disturbance around 10:50 p.m. on February 3rd in Shreveport, a city in northwest Louisiana. In the 911 call, a person who identified herself as Bagley's wife said her husband was loaded on something and threatening her and her daughter. Tyler and one other unidentified officer arrived at the apartment where Bagley opened the door holding a glass bottle with brown liquid. Bagley said that he had to put away his dog, walked to the back of the apartment onto a balcony, jumped to the ground outside, and ran. The officers then began chasing him. Upon rounding a corner of the building, Officer Tyler observed Mr. Bagley and fired one shot from his service weapon, which struck Mr. Bagley in the chest, Colonel Lamar Davis, the superintendent of Louisiana State Police, said at a news conference earlier this month. In the video, Bagley can be heard saying, "Oh God, you shot me," as he slumped to the ground. The officers immediately rendered aid as one of the men, it is unclear who, said, "No, no, sir, sir, hey, no, no." After the shooting, Tyler made multiple statements claiming the suspect came toward him and he could not see his hands, according to court documents by state police. Investigators did not find any weapons in Mr. Bagley's possession. Tyler, who has been with the police department since May 2021, is currently on paid administrative leave, Shreveport Police Chief Wayne Smith said Thursday. Smith said, to his knowledge, Tyler had been involved in one policy violation in which there was violence to a suspect, but did not elaborate further. So he's put his hands on a suspect before now. It was not immediately clear whether Tyler had hired an attorney who could comment on his behalf, but as of Thursday afternoon, he was released on a bond of $25,000. In Louisiana, a negligent homicide charge carries a prison sentence of up to 5 years upon conviction. Family members of Bagley have filed a $10 million lawsuit against Tyler. The lethal force used against Mr. Bagley was unjustified, unreasonable, excessive, and in violation of Mr. Bagley's rights under the United States Constitution and the laws of the state of Louisiana, the lawsuit said, which was filed by Bagley's wife, mother, and stepdaughter. The family has hired a Louisiana attorney, Ronald Haley, who has represented other high-profile clients, including the family of Ronald Green, a black motorist whose 2019 death in state police custody in North Louisiana prompted lawsuits and criminal charges against law enforcement officers. During a Thursday afternoon press conference with some of Bagley's relatives, Haley said the fact that Bagley fled from police should not equate to a death sentence. Flight does not mean shoot to kill, Haley said. Flight does not mean you are the judge, jury, and executioner, and that's what happened. That was what happened in this case, and it is an incident that we see far too often in the state. It's an incident that we see far too often around this country. During the news conference, Xavier Sudds said he hopes his brother's death means something. Louisiana has had multiple high-profile fatal officer-involved shootings, including the ones involving Green, Mr. Ronald Green, and Alton Sterling, a black man who was shot and killed by an officer outside a convenience store in Baton Rouge after being wrestled to the ground. I remember the Alton Sterling, I call it a murder because I did see the video, and I also saw the video of Mr. Ronald Green. And you guys, those videos will put so much hurt in your heart, even though you don't know these people, to see the life just snuffed out of someone by choking them to death or beating them to death. I mean, it is horrible. Ugh, and traumatizing. I appreciate everybody's condolences and prayers, but none of that compares to the pain that I'm feeling, the pain that my mom is feeling. That's going to linger for a while, for a long time, Suds said. So that's his brother. You guys, that was the end of the story. The video is online if you want to go and see it. I do not want to see the video. I feel for the families of all of these people. Like I said yesterday in my video about the Buffalo mass shooter, he didn't just take away those people from their families. He caused his family pain. And now this officer, if he's convicted, he will spend 5 years in jail. And his family will worry. They will still get to see him, but they will worry about what's happening to him. His family won't have a good night's sleep because of the worry. Is it worth all of the hell and damnation and worry and torture of your family and of these people who have been shot and killed? Is it worth all of the pain that comes along with all of that, when you could just take your time and do your job without being? I think that he might have been afraid. He's 23 years old. And if not afraid of a black man, because of what is pumped into some people's heads, then you're just afraid of anything that moves, right? That is my opinion. Stop pulling out the damn gun as soon as something goes left and try to talk these people down. Try, if they're running away from you, you're chasing them and they're running, why shoot them? They're not posing a threat if they're running, right? That's the stuff that I don't understand. And look, you guys, it has been proven that it's not only white cops that are killing black people. Look at those cops that murdered that young man, Tyree Nichols. Those were black officers that did that to him. And they didn't shoot him. They beat him to death, which is so savage. We have to stop this. This cannot continue. It's just a sad situation all the way around. What is it? It's the devil. And yeah, I say that all the time. You guys can say I'm hyper religious or I'm crazy, loca, whatever you want to say. But if you don't see it, then something's wrong there, because there's too much evil going on in this world. And yes, I call this evil. This man was being abusive. So they didn't say he hit his wife. She said he was loaded on something. There was no report, as far as I can see, that he put his hands on her. Maybe something happened in the past, but he was not accused of putting his hands on her. She said that he was loaded on something. Maybe there was a reason why she was afraid that if he was, high or drunk, that something may happen. But there was no violence reported in that home that night. Physical, that is. So why did he feel the need to draw a gun when the man ran? I just will never understand this. And that's just my little opinion. Let me know what you think about this situation in the comments.